Hi, I'm Guy in Helmers, and I'm going to be showing you guys how to set up your Surface Book for illustration purposes. So I'm going to be rolling with the setup I have on my operating system right now. If you're looking at my sort of set of videos, you should be able to have it pretty well the same as that, but I won't be covering any of those things in this video. So this is specifically for the Surface Book. I had to go through a very lengthy process of setting up all the things. I'm using Photoshop CS6, which is the last version before the subscription-based Adobe software. So if you're like me and you don't want to pay a subscription, you're probably where I'm at right now. So first of all, we are going to go to the Surface software. I'm basing these off of my my Wacom Intuos 3 as well as the Cintiq that I used at school. I find that the Surface Pen is a little bit too harsh with the initial pressure, so I just crank this down to 1. This is totally subjective, but if you want it as close, at least in my opinion, to a Cintiq / Wacom product, or Wacom if you go by that pronunciation, I would recommend dropping it down to 1 and seeing where it takes you. So that is the very first setting to take care of. Then the second setting is to go into Pen and Touch, which is a control panel thing, not a system settings thing, old school Windows stuff. And you want to remove press and hold equivalent right click. My God, does that stuff just kill. So you want to go into settings here and enable press and hold for right clicking, turn that off. Now the reason for this is that when you press on the screen with the pen, it has a very small bracket around where you touch down that won't experience any of the pen motion because it's trying to have a dead zone to detect the press and hold. So when you're drawing, every time you tap down and do like a gesture or flick or a line or whatever you're doing, that first little margin won't count as you drawing, and only once you've breached that will it start going, this person's intending to write. So that totally prevents you from being able to draw successfully. So enabling or disabling it will give you much more freedom in that regard. I also just remove flicks. I've never had it work or not work, but I've never needed it, so c'est la vie, see you later. Oh, and it does it again. Okay, there we go. I had to apply twice, probably because of the pen and hold and touch. I'm gonna just check. Yeah, so it's disabled, and I click OK. Now, what you will need to do, I'm very sure that this has to do with CS6 and before, but it might have to do with Creative Cloud or whatever the version of Photoshop is now. You need to get WinTab, which is a driver that converts the Microsoft brand of pen touch system to the same as the Wacom Photoshop and stuff, because they were developed far before Microsoft had their hands in pen touch stuff. They sort of have the driver that everything uses, for example Photoshop and whatnot. So I just looked up Surface Book drivers, went to download Surface Book drivers in firmware. It's a Microsoft URL. It's weird here, but you click download and it gives you an option. I did the WinTab for 64-bit. Of course, if you have a 32-bit Surface Book, you can use that. Just select whichever one you want and click next, and that sends you to the download stuff. I have already downloaded it here, WinTab, and I'll just run through this. through the setup. I hope that you can still see. Guide me through the rest of the process. Next, I accept. You can have my firstborn son and or daughter, and install. It's going to install. Ta-da! Probably need to restart, which I recommend doing, but you can do that once you've done the whole sort of plethora of updates. So that's taken care of. Now, if you've already installed your Photoshop and stuff, it's like, yay, you know, Photoshop, and well, okay, yay, Photoshop still. Oh, okay. Well, this is absolutely painfully, crushingly small. So if you have Creative Cloud, there should already be a fix built into it. But for CS6 veterans and earlier, it just doesn't work. So this is the next sort of setup for part of your illustration setup, is to look up. I just looked up. What did I look up? Oh, I looked up Photoshop Scale UI, Photoshop CS6 Scale UI. Takes you, I think one of the first links is to Dan Antonielli's personal page, just so that you know he's also looking for donations if you want to help him out there. But here's the guide. I'll be, of course, putting the URL in the description of the video. Follow the instructions, and part of it involves altering the registry. So you click Start and R to run. You want to go to, I'm pretty sure it's regedit, and you are here. So the nice thing about these things that not a lot of people may know is that he's telling you to go to this whole thing, HKey local machine software, but as you can see in his screenshot, it's just a gajillion folders and settings. So you can click Control F and look. So then you go F, and it was called, I think it's side by side. I'll just double check. Side by side right there. You click Find Next. So it'll search, and then and it may not get you what you're looking for. I'll look here. Wow. Probably would help to click on HKey local machine instead. Yeah, not classes root. Local machine here. Will that work better? Is it going to continue? Okay, HKey close on software, that's not where I want. Classes, we want Microsoft. Well, that didn't work, but sometimes it does. Microsoft, Windows, current version, side by side. Side by side. And then you want to right click in here, click new, dword 32-bit value, and call it prefer external manifest destiny. And then you want to set it to 1. I just double clicked to open it up, and you click OK, and you can exit the registry. So then he says, create and place the external manifest files, blah, blah, blah. Just download the ones that you want. He has Illustrator, Fireworks, Dreamweaver, and Photoshop. Sorry, InDesigners. But I'm sure you can probably just change the name of this and possibly some of the data in there. But I can't help you in that regard. I've already pre-downloaded them. So I'll open up my Photoshop CS6. It's the 64-bit version for me, and I drag the manifest into there. Continue because it's an admin thing. Continue because it's an admin thing. Photoshop exe manifest, and I've got the same one for, I see, I had them both highlighted. And I drag Dreamweaver to its actual home, and I continue. And did it move both of them? Am I gonna... okay. I've selected one. And I'm gonna put... oh, Jesus. There you go. So now, we'll close these guys. When you open up Photoshop, bam, look at that. Holy crap. It's monolithic. It's huge. And now here you go. You have your actual Photoshop size, which is much more capable of being drawn. Oh, participate. Oh, Jesus. Do that later. Now, I'm using my pen. I'll show you if this issue happens here. Brush tool. Oh, here we go. See, now I'm trying to pen things and it automatically just starts not working. So now I go to my mouse and I do my mouse and oh, now all of a sudden all of my clicks happen. Holy mother of God. Okay, that must be just a one-time bug. You know, let's try it again. I'm going to click on my swatch here and I got, oh, now it's just a grippy hand. Okay, what's going on here? Let's, oh, here we go. Cancel. Nice, okay, we're free. Time to start, you know, let's make a new thing and click OK. And okay, let's make a new, anyways. To get to my point, it's that the pen does not work at this point. And the reason is because you need to update your Photoshop. And this was something that took me weeks to figure out. And it's such a dumb oversight, but holy crap, is it alarming when your really expensive machine can't even interact with your Photoshop because it just absolutely destroys the ability to do stuff. So that was just huge and took me forever to figure out. I'm not gonna, you know, of course, make a video of me updating all this stuff because I would like to update those things. Oh, I'm just gonna let that go off in the background. So Photoshop, once it's updated, it'll actually work, which is a godsend.